I'm sure you guys heard that there's been a lot of layoffs in gaming for artists and programmers and all that. But I just saw a job posting for NeoWiz, which makes Lies of P, and they're looking for an AI creator instead of artists. So let's talk a little bit about that. So Lies of P is a game series that is kind of like a Victorian Dark Souls Pinocchio story. And this character is Pinocchio, and there's a Geppetto and all that. But beyond that, it has really great design, okay? So what they said they were looking for was this here. Round8 Studio was looking for an AI creator for their sequel. And it says here, creating a game that surprises everyone and turns the tables on the game. That is NeoWiz's goal. Not only publishing competitive IP, but we are developing games for genres and platforms, blah, 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 right? And it says, our team 2 is responsible for the technical foundation that turns imagination into reality by enhancing the technical completeness of projects and achieving optimal production. Okay, anyway. We are seeking experts who leverage generative AI technology to maximize the efficiency of art production process and innovate the visual quality of the games. We are looking for valuable colleagues to combine the creativity of artists and the productivity of AI to build Round8 Studio's unique and unrivaled art pipeline. So the responsibilities would be creation of the character, background concepts and drafts, expansion of variations using Stable Diffusion and Midjourney, AI-based texturing, model assistant using image to 3D technology and asset creation, integrating asset tools into existing art flows to reduce production time and build an efficient AI art pipeline, training unique models and building libraries optimized for projects' art style using LoRa, ControlNet, etc., post-processing, in-painting and out-painting, and highest resolution upscale of AI products to a level applicable of actual games, identifying the latest generative AI trends and providing AI tool usage guides for in-house artists. So it says here, you are required to possess a high level of fundamental understanding of form, color, and composition before handling AI tools. Someone who excels in sophisticated prompt design. Oh my god, kill me. Proficient in Stable Diffusion, Comfy UI / Atomic 1111, Midjourney, Photoshop. Someone who can proactively resolve technical issues arising when new technology comes to existing pipelines. Candidates with practical 2D concept artist or 3D modeling is preferred. Someone with a high level understanding of legal guidelines regarding AI ethics and copyright. Those with experience directly applying AI resources within the game, Unity / Unreal. It's a permanent position, and that's basically it for that, right? So what they're saying is that they want to hire an artist who is a high calibrated artist. They don't want an AI user. They want an artist who already knows all the AI shit, and they're basically planning to use AI instead of artists. That's what they're saying. They want you to be able to do AI paint overs. They don't want you drawing really. They want you to do the hybrid pipeline. And I think I'm going to be making a video about the hybrid pipeline. But they want to do a version of the hybrid pipeline, which is generating all the assets and then painting over them and fixing all of the issues that are in them. That's what they want. And I bet that they plan to use, like text to 3D and take those and then have somebody fix them. So essentially, you are mostly an AI fixer. You're not really an artist anymore. So all of that high skill that you got, that's what you're going to be using it for, fixing AI shit. Now, this didn't go over well because the thing is a lot of people who play video games don't want front-facing AI content, which means AI paint overs, content in the backgrounds, no AI assets. But some people are fine with AI code and stuff. They don't want any front-facing anything. So on the Lies of P subreddit, it says here that Neo AI job listing info, and you can scroll down here, and it says that there has been some updates since then, right? So it says the Lies of P developer NeoWiz and Round8 have contacted Eurogamer to clarify that the job listing for an AI creator spotted on NeoWiz's website isn't directly related to the development of the Lies of P sequel. Instead, the role, based on the independent art and R&D team at Round 8, will focus on creating AI-generated visuals to be used strictly as an internal reference during pre-production. These companies stress that they hold full legal rights to the assets used in training, and here's the full statement. The job posting in question is not a role that will be directly involved in the production of Lies of P sequel. Instead, they will reside in an independent art and R&D team at Round 8. Gen AI tools are only going to be used to improve efficiency of repetitive foundational tasks. AI-generated visuals function strictly as internal reference material during pre-production, such as establishing a visual direction before the formal production begins. The intent is to build a proprietary visual library trained exclusively on the assets to which NeoWiz and Round 8 fully hold legal rights. All final assets for the upcoming game will be created by experienced artists. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about that. I believe that NeoWiz is lying and they're just doing damage control, because that is not what that ad said. Because saying that an independent R&D team inside the same company working on the same IP is a very, very thin distinction. R&D work does feed into the main production, and that is the point of R&D. Like, pre-production concepts and style libraries heavily influence what the game looks like. And on top of that, the original listings language was very ambitious, like maximizing efficiency of the art production process, innovating the visual quality, project-specific models, and they mentioned using Midjourney. There is no way that they can use Midjourney without having used other people's assets. Same with Stable Diffusion. Even if they're making Lauras, they still need Stable Diffusion's bigger models like Quen or Flux or whatever the fuck they're going to use. They're still going to need those models to make other things, okay? So they need the big boys to still make it, because they're not making their own models. When people say, I make my own models, they typically don't mean that they're making a fucking 8 billion whatever the fuck model. They're usually saying, I took someone's art and I made a Laura. And if you don't know what a Laura is, real quick, a Laura is where someone would take all of your art and they would put it into the AI to make a model. I've never made a Laura before, but I know it consists of making a smaller model that is just a combination of one person's work or a few people's work or whatever. Now the thing is this is just classic PR. We're not using AI in the pipeline. This is just going to be a little bit of harmless placeholders, because this blew up super negatively, and they try to narrow like the scope of what's actually written there instead of like the underlying tech push. And I'm sure because they changed it too. They changed the whole thing. So let's talk about what they changed. Now it's basically now it says a technical artist. They just changed the top, and then it literally says the same shit. You need to know Stable Diffusion, add Midjourney, all the same stuff. You still need to know Stable Diffusion. You still need to know Photoshop. They're literally asking for the same fucking thing. But all they did was change it so it says technical artist. That's not any different. You literally just changed the top. And some people believe that NeoWiz has just softening the blow, because they're still looking for someone who is definitely going to end up replacing that artist by saying that they need to know Stable Diffusion and Midjourney. They're saying that they're going to literally type some shit out, paint over it, and send it over to the main team. Because even if Lies of P2 says that they won't use AI image generation, they're asking for people who can paint over AI, who have extreme fundamentals. So they're already probably like a senior level artist looking for a job. And the type of job that they're looking for is essentially a concept artist that's going to use AI. Because the thing is like these AI generators that they specifically listed don't allow you to use your own training data, but you can't opt out of using their stolen training data either. Because Round 8 and NeoWiz is kind of lying to me when I see that they're using Midjourney and any other image generator that is trained off of stolen data. and they're trying to say that they're ethical and they're going to follow copyright law. And like, you have to be ignorant. You got to be ignorant to believe that. Because let me tell you, Round 8 is blatantly talking about using image generation, something new, not seen in games until recently. And anytime it has been seen, there is a huge backlash. And it's not even just for like temp assets either. Like Expedition 33, a game that I loved, had one asset left over. And that was an old asset from like 2022. And they lost an award for that. And if you could, I would really, really like if you guys could follow. And if you guys are liking what you're listening to, please subscribe to me. And I try to put out 2 videos a week. And also, if you would like to go over to my Patreon and support me financially so I could do this all the time, maybe, that would be awesome. Feel free to go to my Patreon. I try to put out my full res art over there. I write stories that you guys can see over there. And it would be awesome. Anyways, we also got to talk about the Twitter machine, okay? We got to talk about how Twitter feels about this, because I feel like I know a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, it's a toxic place." It is a toxic place, but it's also like town square. You know what I mean? Like everyone can stand up on their little step stool and be like, "Listen, this is how I feel about it." So I kind of feel like we always got to check what Twitter feels like, because Twitter is kind of like how you get the vibe of what something is coming across as. So I went to the quote retweets, and it says, "The excuse that they're going to use AI to accelerate process is so stupid. The devs who use that excuse should be on site." Okay, I wouldn't have said that, but okay. I am so disappointed with Round 8. They make a game with masterfully crafted art direction, and then they devolve into this. I'm not going to support them moving forward. Fuck them and fuck AI. Man, can't they just hire one of those million god tier Korean artists in this app? Oh my God, you know what I mean? For real. There are so many artists out there that would like just die to fucking do this. I kind of want to look over also the comments. It's going to say, let's see. It says here, "I wonder how long it's going to take for them to realize that we don't want AI in our games. Hire an artist. We want to see human error. We want to see progression in the games with little details that we thought we wouldn't find. That's really unfortunate. I'm disappointed. I'm sorry if you're using AI for your game. I want your game to be half price at release." Ooh, that is an interesting theory. That's an interesting theory. If you're cutting costs, then shouldn't the game cost half as much? That is... What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think? Do you think if they're going to use AI to make it cheaper, that the game should be cheaper? Oh my God, when I see these type of people here, is this person using AI? Yes, they are. Of course they are. Whenever we talk about the use of AI in video games, I always see a few silly gamers complaining about it. I, for once, am happy to see that gaming developers are acknowledging this new amazing tool and implementing it into their creative and development process. I just started to like this game. What the fuck? Shame. I just 100%ed the game and hoping for a sequel, and this is what I see. Hate to see it. From handcrafted Souls-like to mid-journey prompts, well, it was fun while it lasted. Well, Liza P was fun while it lasted. Now, whatever its sequel is gone from an immediate day one purchase to maybe in a few months if it's on sale for me. I think this is the right move to make, as long as you still have someone who's in charge of the art direction and can make sure everything is... Shut up. Dude, this is fine. Many game companies already do this secretly, as long as the final product is polished. And I hate that word too. That is my second hated word. I hate that word. Liza P was the most AI game looking to begin with, so it isn't a loss. Boo! The job title as AI creator is a new role that I didn't know existed 18 months ago. They're not replacing concept artists with their AI. They're hiring a person whose entire job is to make AI output usable by concept artists. No, that's not, this person is wrong. What they're looking for is they're looking for like a senior artist level, like, what's this? Anyway, they're looking for somebody who is similar to like a Adam Duff or a Stefan Zapata or a Ross Draws or Sam Does Art or one of those. They're looking for someone like that. Or a lowish. They're looking for someone who is willing to use AI in their pipeline and then teach concept artists and other artists to do the same. And then they're going to take those artworks that are generated from Midjourney or Stable Diffusion, make a smaller LoRa, and then they'll generate pieces that are themed and coherent to the style, and then whatever issues are wrong with them, all of the concept artists are just going to be like painting over AI work that was taken from them and made into a LoRa. That's what I believe. This is the process of getting rid of artists and forcing the ones that they have to paint over their own work. So we'll see. I am disappointed because I kind of liked Liza P. And it's just kind of really cringe to see that's where the gaming everything is going, where they just want to use AI and paint over it. I mean, I kind of knew that this was going to be a thing. The moment it became like decently good in any capacity, artists were going to always paint over it, because like the only type of artists who can paint over it and hide it are people who are top tier professional quality artists. That's it. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. It's kind of like, I mean, I know that I was like, okay, I'm not trying to be a doomer. Okay. I'm not trying to be a doomer, but I kind of feel like if there was ever a time where I could have been in that path would probably have been closed to me. And seeing it be closed to me like now, even though I could never go in that direction, like I feel like if anyone was going to hire me to do something special, it would be like a special project for a Kickstarter or something, you know? Like I do a special art for somebody, not whatever, not some kind of fancy job. Well, anyway, guys, thanks for listening, and I hope to see you at my stream this week. Bye.